Bro, welcome back once again to the Brofessional Podcast, where we stay in Brofessional at all times. You feel me? You dig me? You dig? Anyways, so Ukraine and Russia, things are still going on. Russia's still trying to take over the country. The stock market is still in the tube, so nothing has changed. The Knicks still suck. So sorry, I wish we could give you guys a better update, but it is what it is. They blew the lead against the Suns last night, lost by 1 point. So whatever it is, it is. But today on the Staying Brofessional Podcast, I got my guy with me. They call him Thunda. Everybody welcome Thunda to the podcast. Just kidding. Let's go. Hey, give him a round of applause.
Hello,
what's up, my guy?
Gentlemen, what's going on, my brother? Hello,
what's
ladies
going
and gentlemen,
on,
boys
man?
and girls, children of all ages. How you guys doing today?
Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me. Yes, sir.
On the show.
Absolutely.
So what's up, man? What's going on? Fresh from the gym.
Yes, sir. Got to get back at it. It's spring is spring is technically around the corner, and we got to get ready for the summer. You already know. Got to stay fit. Trying to stay fit on the Brofessional Podcast. Well, while we talking about the gym real quick, let me let you guys hear Thunda's story. Thunda used to be almost 400 pounds of craziness, bro. Yeah. Dude was huge. And he went on this crazy weight loss journey, and I'm going to let him talk about that. I'm going to give him the mic so he can talk about that right now. Thunda, go ahead. Tell me your story. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Basically, actually about 10 years ago this year, I had what I would call a quarter-life crisis, I guess. I turned 26, and I was like, man, I was morbidly obese. I weighed over 320 pounds, and I'm not getting any younger. So I said, you know what, something's got to give. I gotta change my life around. So I just went crazy and lost 130 pounds in 8 months. Straight diet and exercise, no surgery, no miracle pills or anything like that, just hardcore dedication and consistency. And I just decided to change my life, and from there I became a personal trainer and got into competitive bodybuilding, and now unfortunately with the pandemic, I did gain a total of 60 pounds. It took a lot. It took a lot out of everybody, I think. So now I'm on another journey, and I'm on my way to get back to where I used to be.
Yeah, man, and I would say losing 130 pounds ain't easy. It ain't easy by any means. I mean, even though, granted, you were mad big, and it's like anything with weight loss. Like even when I was going through my weight loss journey, like the first couple weeks, I was dropping pounds like crazy, seeing things, but then it gets hard, man. So to lose 130 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Like, kudos to you, man. That's crazy to lose that much weight. And I know you did professional bodybuilding. What place did you come in?
Out of 103, I came in 4th place.
That's fire. 103 people came in 4th place after being almost 400 pounds. And and the pandemic was hard on everybody. Everybody gained weight. Everybody went through their struggles. All gyms were closed, especially because you were in New York. And that's another thing I want you to talk about. Tell us how it was in New York when the pandemic broke out, how things were up there. Because from what I hear, it was like a straight ghost town.
Bro, it felt like I was living in the world of Mad Max. It was crazy. I remember going out for supplies and shit. Excuse me, sorry, and stuff. And
you can curse on the Brofessional Podcast. We're staying professional at all times, and we advertise if you are not old enough to say a curse word, you should not listen to the Brofessional Podcast. Sorry, guys.
This is correct.
Go ahead, keep going.
Nah, but it kind of felt like an episode of The Walking Dead. I had to put on a whole. I remember wearing a trench coat and putting the mask, a scarf, a hoodie, and just layers just to not to come in contact with nobody. It was just crazy and
it was crazy when the pandemic first started too, because they were like, "Oh, just wear a facial covering." So people were just putting anything over their face, then to come to find out that only the E95 mask actually worked, and the whole time we were wearing shit that you use to go fishing, that you could breathe through. Because when masks first came out and I had to put on a mask, the pandemic broke out, but we wound up going to Mexico that year anyways, and we had to wear masks the whole flight. And I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like when masks first came out, I really felt like I couldn't breathe with them on. So it was hard for me to adjust. And what was weird was after a while I got used to it. And then, they were like, all right, we could take the mask off. Then they came back out, oh, there's a new variant, you got to put them back on. When I had to put them back on, it was like all over again. I couldn't breathe again. So it's something that we're not meant to wear full time. I feel like, yeah, doctors wear it and everything, but they're in a hospital, they're full of disease, they got to wear it. I feel like if you're out and about in the streets, like it would be like a 1 in a million chance for you to contact a disease when you're outside. I mean, that's what I think, at least. I'm not no scientist, but
yeah, I mean, it's crazy because the science is there, right? They say that. That was the thing that really killed me. Like, especially in New York, you would see like dudes wearing thongs on their faces. It would be stupid, just dumb shit. Like, I saw a dude try to wear tampons on his face, like with a face mask, like tampons under it, layers and stuff, and it made no sense. And then like everybody was talking about the science, and I'm like, all right, it is what it is. What used to kill me is that I used to see people right outside, like in open space and areas with the mask on. As time progressed, people in cars by themselves with the mask on. I thought that was silly. That's just kind of, people still do it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, people still do it, and it's like I say, man. It's at your own discretion, right? Like, use it at your own discretion. If you want to wear it, wear it. If not, don't wear it. I just don't think you should be judged for it or frowned upon. Yeah. If you do or do not want to wear one, and now it's pretty much over. So hopefully we ain't ever gotta worry about that for a while.
Yeah. Just give us the choice. That's all I always ever ask for. You know what I mean? But thankfully, thank God we're here.
Yeah, that's for real, because I know a lot of people got really sick of COVID, and a lot of people got it. Like me, I got it, and I was sick for like maybe a day, and that was it. Yeah. And then I was fine. But when Gabby had it, when my wife had it, she like lost the taste, the smell, and everything. So I know it affects everybody different, man. Yeah. It really does.
That's true. I knew actually personally like 40 people that got hit with it, and really out of 40 people, probably like 2. Like, it was like serious for 2 people. It's crazy.
All right, so let's move on from this COVID BS. Listen, I understand, and I know because I'm with you all the time, pretty much. We work together. You are a huge conspiracy theorist, bro. You are a huge conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what you would call it. But, I mean, I like to deduce conclusions based on facts, so it's, and I think I made this example for you before. It's like a raffle, one raffle ticket, it's possible that you could win the raffle, but the more raffle tickets you have, the more probable that you'll win. So the more evidence, the more facts we stack up, the more likely that the evidence that's presented is the truth. So, but for every argument, there's another opposing argument. So it's just like, it's really, I guess, it's an intuition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like with conspiracy theorists and with all conspiracies, it's like, if it makes sense and if it's most likely possible, then I won't say like, oh yeah, you're 100% right on it, but I also won't say, oh, you're wrong, because it could be, Yeah,
exactly. That's the thing, is the possibility. Like, there's so much, misinformation on top of real information on top of misinformation that, we don't know what to believe anymore. But I know, and I saw this meme on Instagram the other day, in my generation, I've lived through the Gulf War, the War on Terror, the Afghanistan War, the Iraq War, and I've seen the aftermath of all those, and the agenda always comes to light, and it's always on some bullshit. It's always on some power shit. It's always for us to hold more control, to expand our sphere of influence.
And now, even with the Russia-Ukraine war, it's like every single war has something to do with oil.
Exactly.
Everything is about oil.
Exactly.
And gas prices right now are just getting out of control, man. They're just getting out of control. And I hope that things are going to change. But I doubt
We drive trucks, man. We drive trucks. I just filled my. I think I had like a third of a tank left, and then I filled it up from a third, which usually would be like, if anything, $40-$50. It was $75.
Yeah,
from a third.
It's probably like $90 to fill the truck up.
I'm pretty sure it's like it's at $100 now. I'm pretty
it's
sure.
Crazy because gas went up to $3.99 today here in Florida,
bro, and that's regular.
Yeah, that's regular. And in California, my boy Daniel sent me a picture of $6.09 a gallon in the state of California, and my boy Dave told me it's $4.09 in the state of New York.
It's crazy.
In New York City.
Yeah.
So
my sister told me the same thing.
It's absolutely crazy, man, what's going on in this world, and I'm glad that a lot of these politicians, both Republican and Democrat, are retiring this year. Like, I think it's like 34 seats open for re-election.
That new blood.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it's old thinking, you know. Like, we got to evolve with the times, and I feel like all these old politicians are still stuck in the 60s and 70s and the way things were there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, we're all the same people. We're all American people. You know, and you know what else I noticed? Because my father came from Italy. My mom's father came from Puerto Rico. But I was born here. So in America is the only place where people ask, "Oh, what are you?" And instead of you saying, "I'm American," you say, "Oh, like me," I'll say, "Oh, I'm Italian and Puerto Rican." Exactly. But realistically, I need to start saying I'm American because we're all American people, just like you. Like, your family's from Honduras and El Salvador, but you're American. You were born here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If we were in Europe, they'd be like, "Oh, what are you?" You'd be like, "I'm American." Right. But here in America, we're like, "Oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that,
Italian,
you know, this, I'm that."
American,
you know what I'm saying? It's,
if we were in France, if I asked you what you were and you were born there, you would say what? You're French.
Yeah, French.
Anywhere else, we're the only ones that do that denomination. And see, that's where it starts from. Like, we, as human beings, we're just a prideful people. You know what I mean? No matter where we come from, but we forget that, you know, it's like, look, this country was built by slaves and maintained by Hispanics, by Latinos. You understand? Like, throughout the years, and now it's ran by Caucasian people, you know. But you look at the history of everything. You know, 75% of the people that signed the Declaration of Independence were slave owners. So the mentality, like what you were saying with politicians,
sure you say 75%,
yeah,
but I'm pretty sure it might have been like 100%.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure almost all that. Well, I mean, granted, we're talking 1776.
Yeah.
You know, where everybody had before the Civil War. The Civil War, don't quote me, I believe it was 1812, or was that the Revolutionary War?
I think that was the French Revolution.
I don't know.
No, I'm bugging.
I'd have to fact check that.
Yeah.
Because don't quote me. You know, me and Thunda here, we're like huge history buffs, so yeah. we like always talking about history and how
like
things are.
Facts. The
facts of history.
The things that really made and created history and the way that things are now. And it's funny, we were talking about slavery real quick.
I was off. The Civil War was 1861. I was in the right century.
Yeah, and that's the way things were for a minute. It felt like there was going to be another Civil War, but that's another topic. But we were talking about slavery for a second, and it's funny you mentioned that because if you look up, you can look this up. Statistically speaking,
the War of 1812 was with the United States and Great Britain. So you know, I got some facts up in here. I got some facts up in this dome piece.
But peep it. Look, there's actually more slavery in the world in today, like going on today, than there ever has been in the history of the world.
Oh yeah, man.
Which is crazy. And that's the other thing. People are talking about Ukraine and everything right now, but people don't even know. And why haven't they been talking about saving Ukraine before? Because it has one of the largest child and human trafficking situations in the world right now. And that's another, and see, people only now want to talk about saving Ukraine because of Russia, but you know what? Look how many politicians have been in Ukraine. For the Clintons, how many family members worked in Ukraine? Look at Hunter Biden. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has these weird connections with Ukraine, and it's not it's not a coincidence.
Over petroleum and oil.
Exactly.
You know what? Like, I try not to get too political here on the podcast because I know different people like to sway different ways, and I respect everybody's way of thinking, whether you're left or whether you're right, whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're liberal, you know, whatever it is, whatever you are, you know, I always say to just respect people's beliefs and respect where they go. So it's just a crazy time we're living in, man. It's an absolute crazy time we're living in, and the things that are going on in the world is just bugged out, man. And I feel like we only know that because of technology. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can imagine, like, if we didn't have internet and all that stuff, what would we even know? We'd only know what the media gave us.
Exactly. And that's the craziest, actually the scariest thing, because you know, we know what we know through technology, but we have to look at a step further, because the amount of censorship that's happened over the last 4 years is insane. Like, even look at what happened to Trump, how crazy they censored the president. Think about that. That was never done in the history of the United States.
I know, regardless of if you hate the guy or not, he still got banned from social media. It was huge. Right. It was huge. It was huge.
And even a step further, but like, look, you see,
from
this
Twitter,
is
from Facebook.
It's funny.
I mean, so you could post a picture on Facebook naked, but Trump can't say anything on Facebook without getting flagged. He can't speak his mind,
right?
It's crazy,
That's
right?
the craziest thing to me.
It's crazy.
But peep game, and this is the thing: people are quick to judge a man by his words as opposed to his action. Because although I'll admit Trump was an asshole, he was a good president. He did there was no terrorist attack at all when he was in office. Nothing. Financially, I was the most successful I had ever been in my life. Taxes were good, gas prices were lower, the unemployment rate was super low. He did so many programs for minorities and small business owners in inner cities, and it's just like it went from sugar to shit.
My dog Rex made a quick appearance in the bro. Come on, bro. Don't be barking at the Professional Podcast, Rex.
I mean, he's a bro. Let him flow.
He is a bro. All right, Thunda. Yes, now, let's get off all this politic BS, man. Let's be done talking about COVID and politics, you know.
It's a wrap.
Tired of talking about that. Let's talk about the Thunda music.
Oh,
Let's talk about... You know what I'm saying? You was doing your thing rapping for a while. You're still writing. You know, so go ahead and promote your music thing a little bit. And then after we done talking about the music thing, I want to talk about something else with you. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, I've been writing, I think I've been writing music since I was 14. I'm 36 this year. Some would say I'm a little too old to get into the rap scene. Yeah, I know.
How old?
36.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What year were you born?
85.
Damn.
Well, December 85. So if you're trying to be a technical asshole, then I turned 37 at the end of this year. So whatever. Anyway.
I'm not too far behind you.
Yeah, no, you're like, what, 2-3 years?
I was born in 87.
Oh, so yeah, there you go. So that's not so bad. But like, yeah, you know, not that I don't feel I'm too old to rap or anything. Like, you can look at Eminem, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, Kanye, and all these, Nas, of course, God MCs. They've been in the game for a while. But, you know, my aim is more to be a songwriter and lyricist in that aspect.
Right, because most of these rappers got ghostwriters anyways.
Exactly.
Most of these rappers don't even spit their own raps. Even I was watching the barbershop thing with LeBron and Jay-Z. And he done wrote Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre's whole song, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I was like, damn. So they didn't even spit that. That wound up being a super hit.
Exactly. And then, like, even, like, you know, Eminem's wrote things written for, like, Rihanna. Like, written for, like, singers. You know, which is crazy.
Now that we're talking about Eminem, real quick. Real life, 100% brand new topic. On IG today, I seen the game. Did you see what the game said on Drinking Champions?
No, what did he say?
He said, and I quote, "I used to think that M was better than me." And Nori said, "So what you saying?" And Game said, "He's not." I want the versus battle with M. And Nori said, whoa. He said, you don't want the versus battle with M.
Smoke,
and he's like, yeah, what you trying to say? All right, let me be 100% honest. Like, I'm a fan of the game. I think he put out some hot records. I think, a lot of his songs is fire, but ain't nobody. I think maybe Jay can go with M as far as hits go. But if you're talking lyrics, words, he holds the Guinness Book of World Records for most words spit in a rap.
Yep.
Like, unless you did that, you can't mess with him, man. And the lyrics he says, man, it's crazy because it'd be different if they were simple lyrics, but he says stuff that you just stop and think like, wow, like he just said that.
They're so complex. You're right, and it's crazy. I personally think, there's certain hip hop artists that you can't touch. They're truly God MCs. I think God MCs. You're looking at Bus. You're looking at M. You're looking at Nas. Jay-Z. And I might get a lot of scrutiny for this, but there was a 98 freestyle with Jay-Z and Big L. Big L demolishes Jay-Z on this freestyle. And only until later on, was it 98 or 96? You could look it up. But it was only until later on when Jay was really rocking with Biggie is when Jay changed his flow. And there's also been a lot of comparative analysis between Jay and Biggie's flow. So it's very controversial. I think I do think he's talented. He's very creative, very smart. But it's just that part, where he kind of pulled the Diddy for me in the beginning, But I think everybody had to kind of ride a wave in order for them to pave their own way. I think that's like a kind of given. Like M, he rode the West Coast wave with Drake to get on that. You know what I'm saying? Even though he paved his own way, the game, I'm sorry, I think that's ridiculous. He can't touch Eminem at all. Like, Stan is arguably the greatest song of all time. Like, sales wise, critic wise, like, it's been
Lose Yourself.
Lose Yourself. He's had more diamond albums than Elvis Presley or something like that. It's like ridiculous. Like, he's just insane.
Yeah, and it's another thing I hate about the music business, is that I hate when they compare numbers. Because if Elvis was as big of a superstar as he was today, as he was back then today, he would have sold crazy. And I feel like if you were an artist in the 90s, even in the late 80s and the 90s, you made paper off album sales. Now, everything is streamed. Everything is hacked. datpiff.com. How many times do we go on datpiff.com and listen to the newest mixtape?
So crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Bringing it back.
Right. That's so. You said.
How many times do we download something on LimeWire and Napster?
Oh my God!
And,
how many viruses?
And never. Yeah. How many computers did we destroy?
Seriously.
And never bought the actual album. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if people actually had to go out and buy all the albums. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that was crazy.
It was just a whole different time. All right. So let's move on from the music topic. I want you to talk about your next brand, your brand that you're trying to build up and promote, the Hood's Craftsman.
Yes.
And while you talk about that, shout out your IG and all that so everybody can like it and get a follow on that.
Absolutely. It's at the Hood Craftsman and at Thunda Fit, because I'm also back into the fitness game and for motivation. But yeah, I started my own designer everyday carry handkerchiefs and pocket squares. I'm gonna pretty much my own brand of like. I'm starting to actually roll into a clothing line eventually, but yeah, it's really right now geared towards everyday carry, which is kind of like a community of individuals who have their select items that they carry with them on an everyday basis that they're essential items, So whether it be a watch or your wallet, obviously your keys, you got your phone. And I wear glasses. A lot of people, especially we're out here in Florida, so And when the sun's out, you want to clean your glasses. So a little pocket square, a little handkerchief.
Sun's out, guns out.
Yes.
Sun's out, guns out. That's what we trying to flex this summer.
Exactly. But no, it's a nice little companion for your everyday carry. So if you if you go to the range or something, you want to clean your guns or something like that, or you're a mechanic, you want to clean some tools, you could use a handkerchief to do that. And they're cool. They got designs and they got microfiber material, so you can on the other side on the backing, so you can really clean whatever you want to clean, the surfaces that are dirty. And just mixing it up a little bit, and just starting with that, just slowly but surely. I'm going to be making tools and some shirts, and just trying to really urbanize the everyday carry aspect of it, because I feel like EDC is more of a rural and suburban thing, maybe a southern thing. We don't do that much up north. Well, especially because a lot of dudes don't carry guns up north, or they can't carry guns up north. So, but you still carry your everyday essentials. So it goes with it. And if you wear suits to work, they're pocket squares, they're handkerchiefs. They can go right into your suit pocket, and add a little flair to your outfits. It's all about style and pizzazz. You already know.
It's all about being a stylist. Bro, You gotta be styling and profiling. Woo! You know what I'm saying? Yes. You know what I'm saying? All right, Thunda. So we only got a couple minutes left on this podcast. So since we only got a couple minutes left, damn, went by quick. We've been talking and the time just went by quick. So before the podcast is gonna end, I always ask my guests a special question. And let me just be frank. I do all my podcasts on the fly. I hate writing stuff down and interviewing people off questions. Everything I do is on the fly, straight freestyle the whole podcast. I don't edit it. So if you hear my dog bark and there's a bark, deal with it. If not, bro, you can listen to Joe Rogan. Shout outs to Joe Rogan too. Trying to cancel my boy. Get out of here.
Man. Come on.
So, Thunda, my question to you is going to be a good question because I know you personally. My question to you is, tell me how a setback is not a setback, but it has been a lesson for you.
Oh, wow. Well,
hit you with a deep question.
Well, yeah, it's
and not just for you, just like a life, for anybody who's having a setback in life.
Absolutely. Well, it's unfortunately, I've had to start up a lot in my life, and with I know we don't want to talk about it, but with the pandemic, I did lose my job, my career. I was an assistant manager at a fitness facility for 8 years, and when COVID hit, they just kind of dropped us to the wayside. So I had to really take a step back. I came down here. I started working with the company, and in construction with Jay, with you. And,
All-American Swing Stage. You ever need a swing stage, holla at us.
Exactly.
Give us a call.
It's there was a significant reduction in finances. So I had to really take a step back. And but luckily, I had saved. I had a lot of things going as far as my savings. So I lucked out. I realized that sometimes you gotta humble yourself. Sometimes you lose sight of what's really important in your life, and you strive for the wrong things, or you put goals in front of yourself that aren't necessarily going to be the most fulfilling. If you take every materialistic thing away from you, what do you have? And those were questions I asked myself. So with that being said, I was able to kind of rebuild, and it's crazy. I make less than what I was making in New York, of course, but I have more than I ever had in my life, and it's so crazy. I got
that's fire
truck. I got a nice spot. I'm healthy. I'm living good. I'm not in the street. You know what I mean? It's just it's the same.
The comeback is always greater than the setback.
Exactly. You got to take one step back sometimes to take 5 steps forward, and that's all good.
All right, bro, and now comes to my favorite time of the show. show. Yes. And you know what it is because you love it. You love it. You know, everybody out there listens to the Professional Podcast know what's coming. All right, so I asked all my guests at the end of the show to give me their best. Bro. And let me tell you something. Nobody gives a good bro like me.
You already know.
But give me your best bro, brother.
All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
Bro. Yo, that's crazy.
That was a dope, bro. All right, that's the end of the Professional Podcast. And just remember, we stay in professional at all times. Don't forget to follow me on IG. It's the Staying Professional Podcast. Follow it, like it on YouTube, subscribe, and all that. Until next time, be easy. Peace. Have a good day. Thunda, thank you for being on my show.
Always. Thank you for having me.
Later.